Alright, what up YouTube? This is the Young Chevy Truck YouTube channel where I've built a 1984 Chevy C10 truck that just burns rubber, ain't meant to be fast, and only meant to be fun for you. And in this episode, Whitlock Garage, Rob from Whitlock Garage is going to be giving you guys a little behind the scenes of how he put his truck together. And I figured since I have so much information and so much good content from that day, I'm not going to let any of it go to waste. So instead of actually posting like maybe a 30-minute video on Teddy, I'm going to be chopping it up into a couple videos. So you guys might see 1 to 2 extra videos from that day, plus the one that you're watching right now. So also make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Whitlock Garage on YouTube. I'll go ahead and put it right down here for you. Whitlock Garage on YouTube. I'll also put the link down in the description. Let's go ahead and roll the footage. He just gives you guys a little backstory on Teddy, the purpose of it, and why it does what it does. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, so this truck is a 68 GMC that...
You got the year right. You got 68.
Yeah, 68 GMC, and you can tell because it's got the side markers. So 67 wouldn't have had the side markers. I'm sorry about the lighting in here. It's not that great. We just moved in, as you can see, so I still don't even have the back of the truck unloaded. But 68 GMC, and this truck, not many people know this, so you're getting to hear this first. This truck was actually a long bed.
Really?
Yeah. So
no way.
I'm gonna. There's some caveat to it in that the cab and front clip were off a GMC long bed.
Yeah.
So I had a 68 short bed chassis. So this is an original OEM 68 short bed chassis that was under another truck that was super rusty.
Yeah.
So we pulled this short bed chassis out from under it, set the cab and clip on that short bed chassis, and a friend of mine actually had this bed. Wow. So it is not a cut down long bed, it is an OEM factory short bed. So the color is another thing I don't tell people very often. The color is actually off a little bit. So that cab and clip is 67, 68, 69, 503 light green. This bed is actually 70 and up 518 medium green. So it's just a little bit. You can't really tell as much on this side, but you can tell on the other side pretty good. Yeah.
Only you would know that though.
Yeah, most people don't even pay enough attention. See, you can see it just a little bit there. And I've got to end up. I'm going to end up CLRing it and buffing it and doing that whole deal. But yeah, man, this is a long bed GMC truck that we basically just pieced together and made a really cool patina truck. I think a really cool patina truck out of it.
And you call it what?
I call it Teddy.
Teddy.
Yeah, and the reason I call it Teddy, you see that teddy bear hanging in the...
Okay.
That's how it was hanging off the rear view mirror when I bought the truck. Yeah. So I've left it there, and we just call it Teddy. But it's got a 5.3 LS 4L60E out of a 2003 Suburban. It's completely stock, other than a cheap eBay intake, and it's got dual Borlas. But it's the quietest truck I've ever driven. I mean, my 18 Z71 with stock mufflers is louder than this thing. But it's got a nice tone to it. I've still got plenty of rust to repair. It's got rust in the cab corners, rust in the rockers, rust in this passenger door. But what's funny is that all of a sudden the doors started failing on me. So I can't get this door open right now. It's just completely stuck.
Oh wow.
And then this door, the door on the driver's side, the door handle, on these trucks they're notorious for the button actually like just failing and starting to go into the door handle. So that's why I've got the vent window open so I can just reach in here. Yeah. And because I've been moving, I've had no time to fool with it. So it's got a new seat cover, new dash pad, but this truck's sat forever with the window down, so that's why it's got all the surface rust on the inside. You see it all in the roof, on that door panel over there. Wow. Blowing across the glove box door.
That's a big glove box.
But it still
works.
It
is a big glove box. But it works, man. And one day I'll probably paint just the interior. Once I fix all the rust and the cab corners and stuff.
Look at that park brake. That's how they did it back in the
6768
60s.
only was a pull brake. Like
that's what that is?
That whole
Lord.
That's the emergency brake.
I had no idea.
Yeah. But
does the gas gauge work?
No, I mean, actually the gas gauge does work. So the gas gauge works. The oil pressure gauge and the voltmeter works for the battery.
Okay.
And then I ran a friend of mine helped me who is better with electrical stuff than I am. He helped me wire the whole truck. So we bought a new PSI harness, new PSI computer, and so he tied in a new wiring harness in with a new truck wiring harness in with the LS harness. So he ran me a little temp gauge down there that we just bolted to the bottom of
Give me his number.
Yeah, for real. You'll see him around because we're actually about to do a motor swap in that K5, and he's going to help me with it. But it takes a team, man. I mean, there's a lot of guys who know every single facet about these trucks and can do every single thing all themselves. And I love what you're doing because you just tackle stuff that you may not have ever done before. And I do that too. But it is, yeah, right. But in my opinion, it takes a team. I mean, you've got your dad, you've got other, obviously the internet is almost a team member. YouTube is a team member because you can go out there and look up how to do stuff. But I still learn stuff every day, and I, especially when it comes to electrical stuff, I have no idea what I'm doing. Zero idea what I'm doing.
It can be so tricky.
It can. Just a factory 5.3, but you can see this is a lot of the harness here. So this is a lot of the LS harness, and it's just plug and play. You got, on the PSI harness in particular, you got 4-wire, it's sort of a 4-wire hookup, I guess is what they call it. So it takes 4 wires to tie that into your truck harness. Wow. So all the rest of it are these little clips like this. So we literally just routed the harness, plugged it into all the coils, plugged it into the MAF sensor, plugged it into the throttle body, just all the different sensors that come with these motors. You just plug the harness right in.
You thought it was spacious under your hood, but it's spacious.
Oh yeah, you can get in here and sit down and work.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can.
Put your tent right there.
That's right. But we converted it to 5-lug. And so it's got power disc brakes in the front, and then swapped a 5-lug axle in the rear, so it's 5-lug all the way around. Okay. Put this little filler plate on. I did clean up the firewalls and just got 503 light green off an internet website that would mix it in a can and send it to you. So that's all rattle can. It's really dirty right now because it was on Power Tour this time last year, and
it still looks.
But it looks fairly clean. But yeah, we just cleaned up all this, with spray cans, with rattle cans.
This looks like new to me. From my perspective, this is new.
Farthest thing from our mind so far, we haven't even thought about cleaning.
Yeah, and you can see this has already begun to rust, and so I'll end up needing to spray that again. But it's bare bones. But knock on wood, I've never had a single issue out of the thing. Wow. This thing. From a frame, it didn't even have a rear axle under it. It was just a frame and front suspension in 68 days for Power Tour. And it's basically the same. I've lowered it 1 more inch. I have changed the wheels and tires. I ended up doing the interior, but mechanically, everything is just like it was at the 68-day mark when we left for Power Tour. Wow. So the only thing that happened on Power Tour was this air filter fell off. And so I just put it back on and tightened it back down, and I changed the oil in it once. I mean, it's a really cool setup. Since I lowered it 1 inch, it rides a little rougher than it used to. It's amazing what that 4.5 to 5.5, that 1 inch. I mean, that makes a big difference in the way it rides. Yeah. But I'm really, really happy with it, and this truck is just. It's in my opinion, it's really cool, and it's exactly what I wanted. Obviously, there are things that I got to continue to do to make it even better. Yeah. But I think it's a cool truck, and man, this thing will just hit the road and go. Yeah. Wow. I mean, it'll hit the road and go.
Anywhere.
I do. I mean, it's been. See, we did, I guess, probably 2,000 miles of the Power Tour. We did another 1,000 not too long after that, and I've been up to Nashville a bunch of times in it. Been down to Battle in Bama recently, which was, I don't know how far that was. It was definitely hundreds of miles, if not 1,000 miles. But this is still factory 3-core radiator out of a V8 C772. Yeah. So that's why you have this ugly hose, because I've adapted it, and a lot of people do this. Because the LS radiators, especially with a fan setup, are really expensive. Yeah. So I just it still got the clutch fan on the front of the motor, and then I went with a factory 6772 radiator. We just bolted this bad boy in here. We knew it'd fit, and then we knew this hose would work. It's just obviously a little less attractive, but keeps it cool. This thing never runs over 190 degrees.
That's what you need.
It's really cool.
That's what you need.
It's amazing. Really, I mean, there's a real, people are now especially starting to hate on LS motors and trucks. Everybody's got an LS motor. Everybody's got an LS motor. Yeah. And I'm a huge fan of Gen 1 small blocks, which we're going to talk about on your truck here in just a minute. And this is the only LS I have. But it is, for what we were trying to do and what I still do use this truck for, which is get in and drive worry-free. you know, the LS motor's hard to beat, and I still get 18 miles to the gallon, and I can romp on it as much as I want to. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Throw the whole truck away.
Do not do that. Do not do that.
I love this thing.
I do too, man.
I really do. This thing is so cool.
I appreciate you digging it as much as I do. And we'll go for a ride in it here in a minute.
All right.
I'm not taking any more of that stuff out of the back, so who knows how it's going to ride. But
hey,
I did C-notch it recently, so that helped.
He needs to go back to the old videos where we had to put stuff in the back of the truck, in the garage. We had to put stuff in the back of the truck to move the truck inside in order to get it in there. So, I mean,
oh man,
we had to make it happen.
Let's do a little filming on your truck.
All right, cool. All right, so just like that, I think this one's pretty much over, y'all. I really hope you guys enjoyed the little backstory on Teddy and how it was put together. It's a really cool story how he put together a 68 C10 in 68 days. So that's cool. That might be a new trend. That might be something I want to get into. I don't know. I'm going to make sure I choose something. Make sure I choose something from 99. So I got 99 days to do it instead of 68. But anyway, I just thought that was really cool. So I figured I wanted to give you guys the backstory behind his truck and everything about it. And I actually have videos incoming of him taking us for a ride and me actually driving it. So I think I'll probably chop those up into 2 videos, but who knows, if the footage looks up to par, I might just put it into one if it's not too long. So really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you leave a like for me, and like I said before, go over to the Whitlock Garage YouTube channel for me. He deserves all the love and support. Like, he puts so much work into his YouTube channel, like, and I got to actually see it firsthand that day. So it was really nice to see. It was really awesome to watch another content creator do what they do. So just like that. Oh, and like I said, I'll put it right down here for y'all, Whitlock Garage on YouTube. I'll put the link down in the description also. And yeah, I think it's going to conclude this video, man. I'll see y'all in the next one, and have a good one.